So in this video, I am going to show you how to mix colors and fill out this color wheel worksheet. So I have the primaries. This is my palette. I have the warm colors on one side and cool colors on the other. I have primaries red here, so filling in the form with the red primary. It's kind of cadmium red. It's a warm red. But yellow here, cool yellow and a warm yellow. I also have a blue. This is the warm blue. This is ultramarine blue here. The other blue is a phthalo blue. That is your cool blue. So now I'm mixing some secondaries. So this is purple. So I'm mixing magenta and ultramarine blue for the first one, and now I'm mixing cadmium red and ultramarine blue for a different purple. So all these different blues and these different reds mixed together make different types of purple. They're all like beautiful in their own right. But right here I'm trying to mix that kind of Crayola grape purple. So that's using the ultramarine blue. Now I'm going to try to see what purples I can make with that phthalo blue. So I'm using magenta here with the phthalo blue. Makes a different purple. Then I'm phthalo blue again and the cadmium red here. This should make a real weird gray kind of blue, or purple, sorry. So again, that's the cadmium red and the phthalo. Adding a little bit of white so that I can see the color a little bit better. So as you can see, it's definitely a lower saturation of a purple, more of a gray. So that's with the cadmium, and these are the old magentas. So going back, filling in my form a little bit. Again, that's the ultramarine blue, and the magenta here makes for that kind of Crayola grape purple. I am very messy with this form, but you know, honestly, these color wheels, they're just an exercise, and they're intended to give you practice mixing color, but also give you a tool to reference later as you're working in your studio. So they don't have to be beautiful. Now I'm working on my secondary here, which is green. I'm using the phthalo blue, which is your cool blue, and the yellow here. It's a kind of a lemon yellow. It's a cool yellow. So cool blue, cool yellow makes for that lovely green. If you were to use the ultramarine blue, it would still be green, but it would be kind of a different grayed out version of the green. Now I'm working on my third secondary, which is orange. So I have my cadmium red here mixed with that lemon yellow, kind of a cad yellow. So it's the warm red and the warm red and the cool yellow kind of gave you that classic orange here. Yellow is kind of a weaker color, so you use very little of it in your mixing. Okay, here I'm working on my tertiary, so I have a cool red that I just mixed, so it's in between purple and red. Now I'm mixing, so that was the red purple, and now I'm mixing the blue purple. So, and I noticed that I forgot to fill out that. There we go. Okay. So now I'm mixing the blue-green here. So the step between the blue and the green is called a cool or a blue-green. So you can see that on the color wheel, and I'm filling in my chart as well at the bottom here. Okay, now I am mixing that green, or yellow green here, yellow green color. Now I'm mixing the yellow orange. And then finally my red orange. So this part right here are analogous colors. So analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. As part of the form, I'm going with a red, purple, and a purple. At this point, the palette is kind of getting a little small, so getting a second palette or second palette would be helpful at this point. So down here, I am filling in the monochromatic section. So I've chosen that purple from earlier, and I'm basically just exploring the different values of that color. So the tints are the color plus white, the shades are that color plus black. It's a pretty dark color to begin with, so I didn't add any black. I just let there be the gradient by adding white. So now I'm filling out the part of the form that's a complement. So I'm starting with that blue, and I am pairing it with an orange. Okay, blue and orange here. Going back through, just kind of clarifying my orange. The yellow is, like I said, a little weak when you're mixing it. It also can be really transparent, so you might need to do a few layers to get that nice opaque, highly saturated orange. I'll go back through to kind of adjust that. Now I'm filling out this part about warm colors. So warm colors are like your yellow, your oranges, your reds, and then your cool colors are greens, blues, purples. That's not to be confused with cool versions of those colors. Like I said earlier, there's cool versions of all colors, warm versions of all colors, but there are some colors that we call cool and some colors that we call warm, and those are opposite of one another on the color wheel. Here, I'm just showing you one last thing that I love. If you don't have black paint, what you could do is mix equal parts of this brown, which is the burnt umber brown, and ultramarine blue. So sorry it's off screen a little bit, but the goal is to mix those two colors together, balancing it out so that it's not warm or cool. So you see there, it's a little bit warm still, so I add some more blue to it. I might test it out on the side of, by kind of putting it down on a piece of paper and then spreading it out to see what color I actually have. It's still a little bit too warm, so I'm adding some more ultramarine blue here. And that's a great way to get black if you don't have black paint, or if you just want a black paint with more character. So you can see it right there. And I just wanted to show you that that's a great thing to kind of have, a tool to have. Those are called chromatic blacks. Okay, have a good one.